So in this lesson, let's actually add the triggers to this half of the controller. Let's look at the back view here. We're going to open up a sketch on the front plane. And I want to use this curvature to help create a nice flowing line for the trigger to match. So I'm going to offset this edge as a sketch. Let's make this 0.2. And to draw the rest of the trigger, I'm going to draw a vertical line here. And we can actually add a style spline to get the rest of the shape that we want. Make this horizontal. I can snap that point of the style spline right on the trigger curve sketch that we drew earlier. Make sure that you have a coincident here as well as here. And now we can trim these lines. We should have a nice complete shape. Throw some basic dimensions on here. Let's make this 0.7. And this distance I want to make 0.4. We can play around with the shape a little bit. Make it a little more interesting. I think that looks pretty good. And what I want to do next is actually extrude this shape out. So let's choose through all. I'm going to offset this just a little bit. And I'm just going to quickly add some fillets in here. Good, so now that we have a general shape of how our trigger is going to look, we can actually sketch right on this face and extrude our trigger shape actually from an offset that we're gonna sketch in on this face. Choose sketch. Make sure that we offset 0.01. And let's choose extrude. Now in this case, we can extrude all the way out. Uncheck merge. And hit OK. So you can see now we have our trigger actually extruded. But we need to get that nice contoured shape in here. So actually what we can do is go back in time even before our split, and we can offset the surface. Point 0.1 looks okay. Let's move the timeline back down. And we can choose cut with surface. Let's make sure this arrow is pointing out, and we select the trigger button. You can see actually when we went back in time, caused some errors. So if that happens, what we can do is go right back to where we were. You can see I just updated the split and it gave us our feature back. Let's not worry too much about this right now, as it's not really affecting the trigger at this point. So let's throw a fillet on this edge. Let's make this 0.3. It's starting to look pretty good. So let's throw some more fillets on this edge here. You can see if you don't change the fillet size before you click on an edge, SOLIDWORKS will actually try to continue to do it. But if we just make this a little smaller, like so, let's try 0.05. Very nice. So that looks good. So for our next lesson, we're actually going to be adding joysticks to the controller itself, and we'll be doing all of our mirroring from there.